behind.
And it rains all the
And
time.
consider because it rains all the time.
Well, they're depressed.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why those trees are so huge. They get plenty of water when it rains. Archie, would you give us a short word prayer this year before we start?
Father God, we want to thank you so much for this opportunity we have to get to here, studying that portion of us. We want to thank you for the rain in our way, Father. We realize you do know what we need before we ask it, Father. Thank you for all the material blessings you give us here in your here, Father. Most of all, thank you for the courage that you give us. Thank you for sending your son Jesus to die for us on the cross, Father. We ask you this thing. Every Father, to the God, to His class this morning, we pray. Thank you in our hearts, thank you, Father. We ask you not to forgive our sins. We ask in Christ's name.
So I'm glad you mentioned that in your prayer, Archie, about God knowing what we need. There's a term you hear a lot now today that I'd never heard of until recently. Virtue signaling.
What?
Virtue signaling. Do y'all hear that much in the news at all? Must be because I listen to watch Fox constantly. It means that I'm driving an electric car and you're not. You're trying to kill the planet, so I'm better than you are. And not just that, but all sorts of things. And I got to thinking on that, and I thought, God's the one that's in control of all of this. I don't think we're going to be the ones that burn the planet down, because He promised us He was going to do that. So it just gets, it's kind of old when people tell you they're, and to be honest with you, they're not virtuous. Most of it, because it's really about me and give us money, give us money. So when we talk about virtue, it's mentioned quite a bit in the scriptures. So the dictionary says that virtue is behavior showing high moral standards, which sounds good, in the world, but I think it's a little bit different in the spiritual realm. So let's look at Philippians 4:4 through 9.
Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Let your gentle spirit be known to all men. The Lord is near. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all comprehension, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Finally, brethren, whatsoever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good report, if there is any excellence, and if anything worthy of praise, dwell on these things, the things you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you.
It kind of drops my blood pressure a couple of points when I read that. Mine says virtue, I think what yours said. Mine says if there is any virtue, and if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these things. So what does he tell us that the virtuous, what are the things we need to meditate on? Joe just read. True, noble, just, pure, lovely, good report, praiseworthy. Are any of those things bad? So why do we seem to meditate? Spend a lot of our time meditating on things that they're totally opposite of that.
It's very unhealthy to do that. People that are weaned on the dill pickle have a sour outlook on life.
Sourpuss.
Yeah.
That's things for the things we hear in the news.
Right.
They don't like to hear good things.
Yeah, we're gonna destroy the planet if you don't drive an electric car.
Now, this is official versus this approved period. And verse 22, 23 of the chapter. So something like this.
Right.
Remember Anne Murray sang that song, "Is there any good news today?"
Yep.
Good question. There is a lot of good news.
There's a lot of good news.
Okay.
But that's not sensational. It doesn't,
Right.
can't say that anymore, doesn't sell newspapers because that's a thing of, that's a thing of the past anyway, right? Doesn't pop up on social media.
Let's keep Trump and
Right.
Is there like significant play you never grateful? They can give God the honor.
Never were happy. Gets out of slavery. Okay. Well, let's make it go with gas. You know, that seems to be human nature a lot of times, not just with them, but, you know, with people today. But, yeah. I'm trying real hard to do that, and to do that every day and think about the good things and not the bad things. Because you get overloaded pretty quickly.
We fail to think about who's in control. That's the whole problem now.
But we're not in control.
That's what I'm talking about. We fail to think about who is in control.
Right. But I think that's the problem with the people today, and a lot of people in the positions of power, they don't really believe, they don't even think there's a God, they don't believe in God. You know, they think man is the be all end all. You know, look what we can do, artificial intelligence, you know. I think some of that stuff's gonna lead us down the wrong road too. So,
God built this movie a long time ago, and I can't, it might have been God till later, I'm not sure, whether he was praying or said. And we did all this, you know, and I don't remember what that was.
Shenandoah.
sounds okay, Neil?
Sounded okay,
Maybe it was Shannon.
It was in Shenandoah.
Oh, that wasn't doing
Yeah, you were go ahead, we did all these things.
Yeah, we did everything. We're gonna give you praise for it, but we did all this ourselves. We planted the crop, we did all
Yeah,
this.
right.
And I think that's what people look at nowadays.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, that's why I said, I think I talk about this all the time. Biggest problem we have in the world today is a meat problem.
That song to God be the glory.
Absolutely. Great things he has done.
Yeah, right. Great thing he has done.
That's right. But you don't see people doing that anymore, giving God praise. You know, I worked real hard like a sports star. I've been working out real hard, doing all this. Where'd you get that talent from to begin with?
So
So,
God tells us we gotta do our part.
sure,
If you don't work, you can eat.
not in today's society. That's not true. You get medical care and food and everything else you need.
That's food you cook.
That's right.
What we work today for us, but it's also to feed others.
Yes.
And that's a blessing in some ways, but not the way the government does it, you know.
Right. Yeah, we're wanting to feed them different things than stuff to put in their belly, right? So why in the world to think upon virtuous things? Let's look at 1 Peter 4:4. And I know we know these, but we look at this. Somebody have that? 1 Peter 4:4.
Wherein they think it strange if you run not with them, the saying that says arise, Stephen, he will you.
What's he talking about?
In the verse above, it says, "The time already past is sufficient for you to have carried out the desire of the Gentiles, having pursued, of course, of sensuality, lust, drunkenness, carousing, drinking parties, and abominable idolatry." It's a list.
So, You know, some people that wonder why we don't have fun like they do.
Oh, we do.
Not according to them.
Oh, they don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But they seem to think those are the fun.
I don't think they can have any more fun than a group of Christians together.
I agree. But you know, if they never tried, or, you know,
No.
it's just, yeah, it's no fun, you know. You Bible thumper,
Who feels better in one?
Yeah, that's the way you look at it.
oh, and usually they invoke God, you know. Oh, God, I'll do this again if you get me through this one, you know.
Yeah.
Well, God didn't do that to you, so. Yeah. My dad always said, he said that people talk about going out and drinking on Friday night. Man, we had a big time. Well, what'd you do? I don't remember. He said, if I have a good time, I like to remember it. So, you know, it was always pretty valuable information. So let's turn to Proverbs 30 and 10. See how valuable a virtuous person is. Proverbs 30:10. I'll have to tell you a story about that. That brings back a memory. 30:10.
He was not a servant to his master, lest he curse thee, and thou be found guilty. That's right.
Yeah, do not blind the servant. You see that happening. See that happening in restaurants sometimes when your server's not doing exactly what you want. 30:10 means a lot to me. When we were kids growing up, I guess it was a good thing that we went to church because a lot of the games we made up ourselves. One being when my brother came home from sophomore algebra, talking about how much he hated algebra, and we didn't know anything about algebra. We thought algebra was a girl. So we made up a game where we would try to kill algebra. We made poison mud pies, you know, and everything. So we'd also sometimes play church. That was after playing Rescue 8, where we had a big deal with the rappel down. So kids today just don't have any fun. So we played church, and we would always, our congregation took place in the pine trees. So we'd find a branch and have church. My brother Joe was the song leader. No, he was a preacher, because I was a song leader, because we'd get books, whatever it was, an encyclopedia or whatever. You know, everybody had a book. I couldn't read at the time. And,
We used to line up the dining room chairs and put them in the living room, and that was where we played.
yeah. So I would lead singing, and I was always like, turn to page number 5 or whatever. And my sister said, pick a bigger number than that. Well, I didn't know that much about numbers either. So I said, turn to page 30:10. So that kind of just has always stuck with me, and they laughed at me. But we had a lot of fun, and you know, at least we were doing that till the day my brother was preaching and got wound up and fell off the limb. So, oh yeah, we get you know, coats and girls would dress up in dresses and high heels and all. Kind of hard to climb a pine tree in high heels. But anyway, I'm sorry. As a side note, the 30:10 that just kind of stuck with me. Proverbs 12:4. Friends can say, why are you talking about that kind of stuff?
12:4.
Yes, sir.
An excellent wife is a crown of her head, but she who shames him is his rottenness in the bone. She who shames him is rottenness in the
So a
bone.
virtuous mate is a good thing, right?
Good. excellent, I got, put those in for just.
Yes. Turn to Genesis 39. Starting in verse 7 through 20. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast longing eyes on Joseph. And she said, lie with me. But he refused and said to his master's wife, look, my master doesn't know what is with me in the house. And he has committed all that he has in my hand. There's no one greater in this house than I, nor has he kept back anything from me but you, because you are his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? So it was, as she spoke to Joseph day by day, that he did not heed her, to lie with her, or be with her. But it happened about this time when Joseph went into the house to do his work, and none of the men of the house was inside, that she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. But he left his garment in her hand and fled and ran outside. So it was, when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and fled outside, that she called the men of the house and spoke to them, saying, see, he has brought us into us a Hebrew to mock us. He came in to me to lie with me, and I cried out with a loud voice. And it happened, when he heard that I had lifted my voice and cried out, that he left his garment with me and fled and went outside. So she kept his garment with her until his master came home. Then she spoke with him with words like these, saying, the Hebrew servant whom you brought to us came in to me and mocked me. So it happened, as I lifted my voice and cried out, that he left his garment with me and fled outside. So it was, when his master heard the words which his wife spoke to him, saying, your servant did to me after this manner, that his anger was aroused. Then Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, the place where the king's prisoners were confined, and he was there in the prison. Of course, the Lord was there and showed him mercy and gave him favor. So the wife was,
Sometimes get in trouble for doing the right thing.
was appearing to be virtuous, right? But she kept saying, sounded to me like she just wouldn't let up either, so.
Yeah.
So, you can get in trouble for doing the right thing sometimes. You see, there's a lot today. But Joseph maintained his virtuous attitude. I mean, who knows how many times that she told him that, so. Of course, we don't know what she looked like either, but it might have been easy. I'm sorry. Yes, Tony.
You pulled the bell down.
Okay. But I'm sure she wasn't. I'm sure she was probably attractive. And he was able to.
Well, imagine everything was available back in those days to make her more attractive. She was using it.
Right.
I mean, there probably wasn't as much available as there is now, but there was something.
Right. Some kind of thing or whatever. That's good. I'm sorry, I wasn't being over.
I'm talking about makeup.
Well, you know, the term painted, she was all painted up.
Yeah.
It's just kind of what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Titus,
So that's good, just not for good reasons, not for bad.
Right. absolutely.
You know, I wear a beard to cover a multitude of buttons.
Well, I had a beer one time and I said it didn't help much, you know, but still the ugliness came through, so. Let's go to Titus 1. That's correct. And luckily I married a very mild young girl.
What was that word, Roger?
Nearsighted.
Oh,
Good
okay.
to see you. Yeah. Somebody had Titus and wanted to talk about what a bishop or elder should possess. 1:8.
hospitable, well, actually probably 7. For the overseer must be above reproach as God's steward, not self-willed, not quick-tempered, not addicted to wine, not pugnacious, not found in sordid gain, but hospitable, loving what is good, sensible, just, devout, self-controlled, holding fast to the faithful word, which is in accordance with the teaching, so that he will be able to both to exhort in sound doctrine and to refute those who contradict.
Yeah, I think probably the self-control part there is the part that would, you know, hopefully keep you virtuous, so. Let's go to 1 Peter 2:12. Yes, sir.
Keep your behavior excellent among the Gentiles, so that in the things in which they shame you as evildoers, they may, on account of your good deeds, as they observe them, glorify God in the day of visitation.
So, we are Gentiles, right? So what about us?
This includes everybody, and it may be talking about people who are not worshipers of God.
Right.
That we need to be Christian all the time, because if they see us do something, one little thing that's wrong, they'll, not like that, accuse you of something, hypocrisy or something. I know we had a man at the church in Dallas. He was one of our deacons at the time, very good teacher and everything, but he was not a Christian always. And when he said I would sit out on my front porch and drink a beer, he said the guy next door was doing the same thing. And he said, he asked me to church all the time. And I never would go with him because I knew I shouldn't be doing that. He shouldn't eat.
Right.
And then later someone else converted him. And he said, that really told me I can't slip in one thing because that could influence someone not to be saved.
Yeah. So being virtuous can help us when we're persecuted, right? They can say what they want to about you if it's not true. Yeah. I guess that's why there's so many private investigators. They're so prevalent today. I played golf with one that I didn't even know he was one until I found out he works for some insurance guy, so. But, you know, it's kind of nice when you hear, I've heard that before. You say, well, you know, I heard old so-and-so, he was out doing that or whatever. And somebody will step up and says, no, I know him well. He's not that kind of guy who would be doing that. So instead of saying, well, yeah, you're probably right. Let's look at Luke 9:26.
For whoever is ashamed of me and my word, of him will the Son of Man be ashamed, when he comes in his glory and the glory of the Father and of the holy angels.
So do we get up in the morning? Do you get up in the morning thinking about, I'm going to try to be virtuous today? That's something you think about? Right. I think you get up thinking, well, what can I do to chide somebody today or whatever? At least I hope not. But you know, there are a lot of people in the world that that's their first waking thought. How can I get over with somebody? So,
I'm over the union.
Huh?
I'm over the union.
I was looking for gold, so.
Yeah.
I know he did new cars, but he probably sells stores also. Yeah, but you know, that's anywhere. I know if you had a pumping unit in the gearbox, gears got worn in, it lost slack when those weights would come around, it kind of chatter. Well, I guess figure out if you put sawdust in there, and with that oil, it quieted it down until they got it sold. So,
Do that on the rear end of the car too.
absolutely. That's just the way it works. Or back when you could put your drill in reverse and put it on your odometer. Oh, God, I got used to do that.
They're still doing that, Roger, they just do electronic now, so
Oh, yeah.
they're proving that this can be done.
Well, I know I can't do it because I wouldn't know what I was doing, so.
I was surprised with that.
Isn't it amazing how people though will work harder to cheat than they will to go out and do an honest work to get it? You know, still be putting themselves at risk, so.
Roger, we face every day, as God wants us to, say, we're putting our lives in His hand that day. We're there to serve Him. What else can we do but move forward, continue to ask Him as the day, the time goes by every day, that guides our step. In this world today, it's to the point, nobody thinks they need any help to make their way. They're independent of what needs to happen. But my statement every morning, here I am, your servant, as Isaiah said, here I am. And we need to be that attitude to make it through every day. At least I do, because I live in a world that when you deal with a bunch of mechanics and different people like that, you get exposed to a lot of things. And we got to have the confidence God has got all of it. If we don't, I can't. It's hard for me to think I can take one step without.
Yeah, you don't have to look very far to be able to find something you can do today that wouldn't be what God would want us to do. Just turn on the TV. It's hard to find something that's really worth watching anymore. Huh?
We back with watching anything.
Yeah.
Well, the commercial was Bill Miller. It's like, you know,
Some of them got really bad. That gal that developed that Lumi, I don't know where she got her money to advertise, but every time you turn around, she's everywhere. I mean, it's like, it's enough. Enough's enough. Whether you're watching the weather or whatever. Let's turn to Proverbs 14, start with verse 22. What's the reward of virtue? Do they not go astray who devise evil, but mercy and truth belong to those who devise God, the good. In all labor there's profit, but out of chatter leads only to poverty. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the foolishness of fools is folly. A true witness delivers souls, but a deceitful witness speaks lies. And what are we supposed to do? Hopefully we'll be able to deliver some souls, right? Yeah. It's nice to know that you're dealing with somebody that has integrity.
every place, instead of the it tells you about, Roger, the fear of the Lord is fountain of life. And one may avoid the snare of death. Fear of the Lord.
So we're not virtuous, we know what's gonna happen, right? Or do we think we're gonna get violated, so. Let's go to Matthew 5:16.
How many times do we hear somebody say, God's gonna understand?
Oh, yeah. He does, they're not wrong.
Yeah,
does
I'm sure
understand.
But it won't be what they want.
No. So let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Once again, it's back to what are you showing? It really comes out, not what you're trying to hide, but what you're really showing. Let's go to Acts 11, and verse 22.
These are just great spears of the church at Jerusalem, and they said, honored us to be off.
Okay, going down to 23.
I want to arrive and saw evidence of the grace of God, who is planted and encouraged them, all to remain true to the Lord with all their hearts.
So, be living for him, for sure. So do you think virtue is something that's encouraged by producers, writers of books and things today? Do they?
Not true.
Why do you think that is?
It doesn't make money. It sells.
Doesn't say a lot for our society, does it? Gets back to one of those things again, what's fun, you know? But it's true. I mean, you know, you look at commercials and usually you don't see many older folks, you know, usually young, attractive people. So, and you think they're just going to fit audience, but unfortunately, it sells for somebody else.
Movies too.
Yeah, you know,
We haven't gone to the movie. One. There's nothing.
I shoot 'em up. Yeah, that's why I like to turn on some of the old ones sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to watch it.
Yeah, most of the time, you know, unless you're watching maybe something Kirk Cameron did or something, but, yeah, usually it's
Or even those in children's movies that aren't
sure,
children.
well,
So I'm trying to take a Spanish course online. And
how's it going?
not very well.
It's hard language, isn't it?
What's incredible to me is they're pushing, introducing people. Now it's a woman introducing her girlfriend to her abuela. And I'm like, wait a second.
All you're trying to do is learn Spanish.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to learn wokeism. I mean, it just blows my mind. And I was talking to a friend of mine, Brother Blackstone, yesterday, and he said, what program are you using? And I said, Duo. He said, that's what my kids are using. I'm gonna have to start watching what they're, there's got to be something better out there that's
Oh, yeah.
not bad.
So I don't know about Babel. I hear about that all the time. I don't know how that is, but yeah, isn't it? Whenever they get a chance to do that, I mean,
They can put
oh gosh, TV commercials and everything, there's one, and some of the worst ones are the ones that advertise in medicine. You know, if you've seen the one that's for HIV, and it's like,
keep loving who you love.
I have the remote and I switch to something when that comes on, but it doesn't matter what channel you watch. I mean, it could be a supposedly wholesome channel. It's terrible, but,
Here again, networks have to make money and those people pay. I mean, and that's what they're looking at. They're looking at the bottom line
sure.
Do they still,
and that's money.
they still have RFD TV?
I haven't seen it in years.
See, that was, he got on there and said they would never do anything out there like that.
Yeah.
But I
So
hadn't
they're
seen,
out of business.
I hadn't seen it in years, that's probably why I got business.
MTV is, those things are so, you watch MTV more than a few months, you've already seen everything they have on there.
Okay.
Half a dozen times a year,
It's
you've
clean.
gotta memorize and you've gotta find something else to
Yeah.
watch.
That's where this comes in handy,
Yeah.
right? So it's hard today, right, to have more courage today in the society today. You know, I even have to watch things, I look at stuff that Isaiah's doing at school. Because there's some things that are kind of, you know, not things that I would really want him to be studying. And I'm glad to see there's some parents now that are pushing back on some of the school boards.
Right. When my kids were in school, they were like sophomores in high school, they came home and told me they were having to read The Great Gatsby.
Mhm.
I said, The Great Gatsby, are you serious?
I read that.
And this was when they were sophomores in high school.
Right.
Of course, you know, my brother was an English teacher, so I called him, I said, what do you think? He says, I'd like to know what she's trying to do to their minds. It's because those kids can't understand, and I can't think of an author's name, but he used the author's name. Those kids at 15 years old can't really understand that. And then
Now,
I went to school, and I said, I don't want my kids reading Gatsby. Well, it's required to read what they had read when you start college. That was the big lie. Because when I was taking college classes after that, they were reading it, but and when they were sophomores in college, it was required. But they were a little older, a little mature, and I'm not sure they still understood it factory hours. But at least they were a little older. You know, 15-year-old boys, for the most part, with a few exceptions, are just still little boys.
Yeah.
Except for a few exceptions.
Sure.
And yeah.
The brain's not caught up with the body.
And so you give them something like Gatsby to read, and you think, well, what are they gonna do with that at this age?
Well, I remember back in the Stone Ages when I was still in school, you know, I always wondered why we had to read Poe, you know, which
Well,
some of his stuff was actually pretty good,
you know,
but you know, the guy was a dope, he was a doper.
well,
He was an opiate, so.
That's all he was, he's a
It always seems like, you know, those are the people that, oh, they're some more creative because they take something, you know, to help enhance their, yeah, expand their minds.
well, I think some good work too.
Yeah.
I think Annabelle Lee is one of the most beautiful poems ever been written, but, you know,
Some of the messages are good, like Bethel Hearts.
This whole discussion has reminded me of the song that, you know, we haven't sung in years called "The Treasures of Earth Are Not Mine. I hold not in silver or gold, but the treasure far greater is mine. I have riches of value untold." The third verse says, "Compared to the riches of love, the wealth of the world is but dross. I will seek but Christ Jesus to ruin, and for him count all things but loss." That, if we could have that attitude of not instant gratification, but constantly growing in Christ and finding that virtue that you're talking about on a daily basis. When we do wake up in the morning, what keeps us from saying, like you said, why can't it be, I want to do something good for the Lord today? So, I haven't write anything a lot of times, lead me to some soul today or something like that, so that I will be thinking along those lines. Because if you don't, you forget.
Well, when you think about it, I mean, when this place is gone, what is there? I mean, it's like, if you love it here, you know, I know when I was younger, yeah, I liked it here, but the older you get, I keep thinking there's something better. There's something better than this.
praise God.
Yeah, and there is, and I know, you know, when we lose people, it's sad. You know, those people are in the Lord. I mean, that is joyous. The thing that all of us are looking for. At least I hope you are. So what kind of rewards do we have for living a virtuous life? One big one.
That's the heavenly reward.
But I mean, even here on this earth, what kind of rewards can we have?
Satisfaction of doing the right thing. Peace in your life.
Just the joy of helping someone that's in need, knowing that you helped them is a reward in and of itself, not to pat yourself on the back,
Right.
but just knowing that, hey, you made a difference in this person's life, right?
And if you make a point of always telling the truth, you don't have to worry about, well, what did I say to him and what did I say to her or whatever.
Boy, I have preached, Jan and I have preached that to our children, and it still seems to be a hard thing to do sometimes for them. But yeah, that's the easiest thing there is. You never
The
have,
trust of other people.
sure,
That makes us feel good.
sure. Yeah, it's you know, and sometimes, like Chuck said, it's just, I've got to be able, when I first started building, I wasn't very good at driving nails, and I'd be nailing in some rafters and joists and all, and I'd bend the nail, because we'd use box nails, which are not like common, because common will split out the wood. Until I got really good at it, I worked for an old carpenter, and I'd bend one, and I'd reach down and pull it out. He said, "Oh, don't do that. You just put your nose and drive it in there, and it'll be up there in that attic, and nobody will ever know." I said, but I, and sometimes that was almost to a fault, because I've done things that, you know, I've been over backward to do things sometimes that just, you know. I sold the truck to a guy one time, and the power steering pump was leaking, so I rebuilt that, put some new O-rings in, rebuilt it. And when I sold it, I told him everything that was wrong with it, because I wanted to be honest about it. Well, he had it a week or so, and power steering pump started leaking again. I knew I repaired that. It wasn't leaking when I sold it to him. So I actually took a day off from work and went and got that truck and redid that power steering pump, just because I wasn't gonna give him that something that wasn't what I represented. So, and I know it happened after the fact, but it's just, so.
Wasn't a Ford.
No, it was a Chevy. Nice little short wheelbase Chevy. It was a nice little truck back in the 80s, you know. So, yeah, no, it wasn't. But, yeah, it's, I think you can get bad ones and all of it. But anyway, the main thing that what I'm trying to say here is, you know, when I lay down at night, I've got to be, my conscience has got to be clear, and sometimes it wouldn't matter.